amazing.
I know, right?
Welcome back, Logan, and welcome back, Zander.
I'm back. Please send help.
You came here of your own free wishing.
They're lying. They're lying. I didn't sign a contract
You
yet.
wish.
Yet.
Yeah. I haven't received a dime. I'm kidding. This is just actually a fun thing. I loved being here the first time. I thought it was so fun talking, just yapping. It's like the perfect podcast idea. I'm just saying. I watch a lot of podcasts.
Every time you come on, I get a part of your soul.
I'm splitting it like a Horcrux. I'm just fully down at this
You
point.
gotta delete all the videos before you can die.
Real. Hey.
Yep.
I'll take that. Does that make me immortal?
Depends. How long will the internet last?
That could be an entire episode. I'm just
How long
saying.
will the internet last?
Yeah.
Whenever the official apocalypse
Hey,
will start.
dead internet theory. God, Eric would have killed. I'm just saying. He would have ate this up.
Any,
He was
uh,
fishing
Well,
left.
maybe we can still catch him.
Yeah.
Any small talk before we begin the episode?
Not much has happened. Well, actually, I was just going to say, not a lot has happened since. No, I've been doing a lot.
Mhm.
Y'all know it. I do post online my own art and everything. A lot of different forms of art. And, like, I've made a jacket. I've done, like, 3 different art pieces. I'm, like, on the last page of my sketchbook. And I picked up Briar for League of Legends. That's the best that I got. Since I've been on last, I suppose. That's what's occurred.
Yeah. Deer hunting. That's why we didn't have an episode last week.
Yep.
We didn't pre-record enough, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't get a deer.
My family got 2, so.
I saw that. Good size, too. I mean, I guess I always think, like, on the vastness of the internet, there are some people that genuinely can't conceive of the idea of, like, going out into the woods and hunting. But, like, for us who live in the Midwest, where the major threat on the road are deer in the middle of the
Deer
night.
strike?
Yep.
We're
I
not
take pride.
not worried about, road rage. No.
No.
We're worried about the deer
It's
popping
the
out
damn
of the
deer.
ditch.
Literally do. They just spawn in front of you. And you're, well, there's my life. It's been a good run. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Fun
I think
fact
I have a
about-
few frames drop whenever one spawns in.
that's what I'm saying. The spawn chunks, they just, like, pop out. Minecraft spawning.
Hey, that's how it works
Deer.
in deer hunting, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've ever seen a deer walk out of the woods.
You just look
It
over.
always just appeared
It's
when I
just
looked over.
there.
They
Yeah.
appear and then they despawn. And
Real, yeah. Sometimes you miss the quick time event. Oh no. I am so excited for this topic. I don't think you realized how good of a topic you picked. Which,
Well, it looks like we want to get on to the topic right away. Thomas, you don't have anything?
We got 2 deer, but no deer hearts.
Okay.
They all exploded.
I
that's a good thing.
unfortunately did not get a deer with my M1 Grand. It was in vain.
Damn.
Yep.
Still got the ping though.
Didn't get that even ping.
He didn't shoot enough bullets.
Damn.
I'm not gonna waste 8 bullets to hear a ping.
You're not having an M1 Grand. Come on.
If I want to hear a ping for free, I'll just have to put as an empty clip in the gun and then rack the.
I'd be doing
Action
that all
back.
day. That'd be my fidget toy. me at my desk stimming with my M1 Grand.
I think we need to invest in a little bit like a specialty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a Nerf M1 Grand with a metal clip.
I'm locked in for that. I'm just saying.
Good, or just create your off-brand Nerf gun.
Off-brand.
Off-brand Nerf gun themed around World War II weapons only.
I could actually see that.
We would
selling
run out of
really well.
weaponry. But then we'll switch to
Artillery.
World War One.
Then
You
Artillery.
switch to World War One, and then you switch to the failed weaponry.
Me and the boys pulling up in.
You got the
in
curved barrel.
The thing is, there's legitimately a jolt, you could say, from World War II, or like a real version of a jolt.
Oh.
Yeah, so like the jolt, you like pull the bottom out, and then you shoot
Oh.
the dart as like one out.
Yeah.
So
Was
one
a
of my-
real thing in World War II?
So no, yes and no. This gun is called the Liberator 45. Now, this gun was paratrooped or thrown down from planes to rebellions in Germany or in the European war front for groups. This gun was terrible, by the way. It was smooth bore. It shot 45 ACP, which is a very good round. But to unload it, you need a stick.
You need a stick.
Yes.
Stick.
So the process went:
Stick not included.
fire, pull back the thing, use stick, plunge out the casing, go from the bottom of the gun where there was a clip down here, grab another bullet, slide it in, and you're ready to fire again.
So it was almost like a removable bolt action with no ejection mechanism.
Yes.
Jesus.
That sounds. Of course, it's Germany.
This is an American gun.
American was dropped.
But
to
we're giving it to
rebellions.
Germany.
You
You wanna see engineering?
So the main purpose was it was one-time use to shoot a German
Yeah.
and then grab their
Their gun,
firearm
yeah.
because their firearms had more plentiful resources around that you could take and have more ammo.
That makes sense. Wars. Who? What are they good
That is
for?
that
Quote,
is
Jack
that is another
Black.
thing. But that's not today's topic.
Well, speaking of guns, a portal gun.
Today's topic is teleportation versus portals, and which one is better?
Lads, my graduation cap goes on. I adjust my fake tie. You've gotten the CEO of Portal and teleportation.
Now, I will
tech.
have to warn, we are college people with a 2-year degree in not physics,
Quantum physics.
quantum physics, or anything.
any
We are just
science, really.
theorizing on our own imagination.
We're talking shit.
Time to talk about Portal.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh my god. Well, I just love it so much because there's so much that I can like go into already that I can like get my little brain around because portals themselves, I'm like I was totally infatuated in both because of the game Portal and there was of course I'm going down this rabbit hole first, a game theory made about Portal and about the logistics of how that would work because there was this idea of like if you had two portals and you brought them closer together while there was something inside there, what happens?
Oh.
Right?
And you spaghettify.
Yeah, kinda. Well, the idea was that like if you're making portals, they can't be moved, but then put them on moving surfaces. What happens? Do those surfaces get anchored down, or does it move with the surface? Does it
You see,
Disappear?
if you put a portal inside of a portal, what happens?
I'm gonna break all sense of relativity here
Yeah,
because everything's moving.
someone asked you.
So therefore, it has to be able to move unless it just can't move in relation to the other link.
Right? Yeah, that I think one can move, but the other couldn't. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
But there's
We have to put some base rules here.
yeah.
So, portals, as seems to be ingredients,
That's
that
something
you
like
can
that.
walk through it no matter what. It is two anchored points, wormhole theory type
Okay.
situation.
Yeah.
Teleportation is a deconstructing of your atom and reconstructing of your atom in the place where you want to be.
Okay. It's a very good way to describe that. I like
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think on an actual quantum level, that is how that would work. It would have to.
So
Select
I
Control
am
X,
team.
Control V.
I am
Pretty
team
much.
portal. For the main reason of teleportation. You guys ever heard of the theory of the ship of Theseus?
Yep.
The
Yep.
ship of
Correct.
Theseus?
Yes.
Yes.
This is literally yeah. Thank you for
teleportation.
bringing that up.
You are being deconstructed, atom down to atoms, and then reconstructed in another place. Are you the same person? Do you have the same memories?
Mm-hmm. Precisely. You
If
see.
it's an atom-to-atom copy, unless we actually try this, you could only assume so, unless you bring into the theory of a soul or a higher entity attached to your physical form.
In that case, that would have to travel with it,
Exactly.
Mhm.
and that implies the idea that a soul can be deatomized.
Is it even in
Which-
this plane?
Precisely, and I love that because in my head though, right? Portals, and I was fully for portals, but since like just sitting and simmering with it for a little while, I feel like they're a perfect like sword and shield to each other, where portals are controlled. You can see where you're going. You can set your own destination, etc., etc. I argue teleportation can get you longer distances, and therefore can supersede what portals can't. And
Explain.
The idea that and let's say like wherever you have to open this portal, you can't just arbitrarily say, oh, I'm gonna portal this right here. And you could say the same thing for teleportation, like, oh, well, what if you teleport and you like glitch through a wall or something? Like you're not fully in one space, or you teleport and you're accidentally like 3 feet underground. Like, oops. A portal though has to open a space, meaning you being stuck in a wall versus you ripping open a wall, or maybe even a person.
It's the same thing for teleportation, though.
Yeah,
you
no,
can teleport right
I
into
think
somebody.
If we're going off of sight though as well, because that's assuming that you can't see where you're teleporting or putting a portal down.
I think
right?
we need to put a little bit of just restriction or clarification on what type of teleportation we're talking about. Are we talking, D&D teleport spell? Or are we talking under scientific, you step into a machine, it does a full molecular scan of you, it sends data over light speed to the receiving end, and it prints you.
That
Plus, there's also many different...
requires ends though, I feel.
Yeah, which... How are you reconstructing yourself on the other end if there is nothing to receive you?
There's a movie comes to mind. If any of you have seen Jumper,
Jumper would be a perfect example of like that D&D.
I think so too. Yeah, where they can only jump to places that that they can see, which does mean pictures included. And so like what the main character like has a bunch of like pictures of all sorts of places, like the pyramids of Giza, and so he can literally just like jump to that location. But if they don't have a picture like that, they can only go for as far as they can see. And if that's the case, for a portal you'd have to see open go through, see open go through, whereas for teleporter it's boom 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 boom, so it's both faster and I think covers a lot longer range. However, I'd say it's a little more unstable because of that.
Yes, I'm on Team Portal because it's safer, and like you said, Team Teleportation, that is like some risky business.
Absolutely.
And like in D&D, the way how they teleport is, it's kind of, think of they're the piece of data in a network, and that data travels along lines.
Right.
And in D&D, you have these things called ley lines and stuff like that.
Oh right, yeah.
When you teleport, you travel along those things. And like they also have the simple spells of like teleportation circle, where there's an anchored spot for you to teleport to. And there's also the teleport spell, which you get to choose anything, but you have to be familiar with that area. Unless you're familiar with it, the more often you are screwed and will not go to the correct destination.
I could totally see that too. And it brings to mind too, because of course I'm going to talk about League of Legends, because there's two characters here that I could absolutely go into. Rise, whose alt is literally you are here, whoever's standing in this circle here is now somewhere else. Good old Scottster has an idea, he says. One of our friends, whenever he rises, he literally just says, "Oh God, guys, what are we gonna do?" He says, "I have an idea," and then the ring starts to open, and you accidentally walk into it, and all of a sudden you're under like an enemy turret or something. You're like, "God damn it, Scotty, what was the plan here?" But the idea is you're saying here to here, and whatever in here is coming with me. That's a huge beneficial to teleportation, because without something that specifies whatever's in this area comes with you, portals you can keep open and transport a lot of things through, whereas teleportation is just you going. Who's to say that even your clothes go with you? That even your personal belongings?
That's also true.
What is you? No, just a single atom. That's you.
So teleportation...
I'm missing a kidney. It's over there now.
So yes, teleportation would probably not be the safest for humans.
Exactly.
We're all in agreement of that.
Yes.
Yes.
It is
But
fundamentally
teleportation, I think, also would have the benefit of normal day live things. Imagine you're at the grocery store. You have your groceries, but you're like me. You own a one wheel. You have this buttload of groceries, but you don't want to carry it on that one wheel. I take out my device, my teleportation device, and I touch it to my groceries. My groceries will go then be teleported all the way back to my apartment where the station's at.
Okay, that goes off of what you were saying earlier too, that you have station to station.
Yeah.
Which I do agree. That opens up a lot of possibilities. And also, I want to, like, especially going off of that, kind of veer out a little more and logistically think of if people had, what's the word? If people had, the ability to teleport, there wouldn't exist borders anymore.
That's true.
There would be literally no reason for airways, cars, anything like that, because you can just be wherever you want to be at that point. So therefore, why have transit? Why have borders to say, oh, these are these people, these are that people? They're separated when you could be in either place within seconds.
So
Borders would no longer exist if both portals. Well,
so
actually, I don't think
with
portals.
teleportation
have that.
and portals. With the thing of teleportation, as we're going by, as what we're putting as a standard, is you cannot teleport a person because we don't know what would happen to them.
Okay, I guess.
I also want to bring in the fact that I'm a very logistical thinker, and I'm thinking about the possible sciences behind this. That why I lean more towards if we're doing teleportation, that station to station theory. But what about the displacement of matter?
What about it?
Okay, let's say in anywhere you know the area, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you take a human's volume
I'm
and just
now.
you're in that space, let's say it's the sealed box, you just rapidly displaced a whole bunch of air. The air pressure in that sealed box is going to go up, and that rapid amount of instant teleportation, that's going to cause disasters.
I think you're absolutely right. I didn't.
So
even think of that.
like, oh, you could get teleported into a wall. Where's that matter going?
True. It can't be destroyed.
No.
It gets displaced.
Or are we going on a system of equivalent exchange?
Wherever you're going, it brings back. Oh.
Okay. I'm going to teleport myself underwater. Where I was, there's just a water-shaped man.
Yeah, that's a really great. Okay. See, that brings to mind of what happens if you would teleport into a vacuum. Because now all of a sudden you've displaced space in a
The
vacuum.
implosion.
And wherever
Yeah,
you are
right.
has now, sucked, we'll say.
But
well,
not all. A perfect vacuum never
me
exists.
saying suck as vacuum, and I literally got flashbacks to Todd. He's there.
Anywho,
Suck does not exist.
if there was teleportation or portals in the society, it would take a longer time for it to be,
Widespread.
yes,
Yeah, I can see
widespread. So it'd start out like the government level, aka, or a personal company's level, which it would then be offered alongside an airliner.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I have the
and it
express
depends.
express ticket.
Yes, and it depends how people would do this. Would they be like, depending on like how much it costs to like keep open the teleporter or portal station? Is it very expensive? Because then those tickets will be way more expensive. So only fewer people would be able to grab it.
Right.
So airliners would still stay up before the less financial people of America or the world.
If we go portals, I can see it. I totally see it. Like, you go down to the international airport. It basically looks like a subway station
Yes.
with a train, a track, and a wall.
I could see that actually.
Just portal
you're-
open.
You're totally right about like having to maintain a portal's like it being there and maintaining that, like, okay, it's open, but like if you think about like, oh yeah, I'm gonna open this portal, well, do you have enough power to sustain it? Because otherwise you're gonna
Yes.
and that's it.
Or if someone's walking through, that's also the dangerous part about a portal. If you're midway through, you're getting cut in half.
True. If it like
Yeah,
closes
good.
out, okay,
Oh.
right?
Oh. I just thought of, the essence of a portal is basically a wormhole theory.
Yes.
It is. It very much so is.
And then,
It just takes
what
some
if it
spaces
was
and-
not a clean cut, but
There's a wrinkle.
or something like that? Yeah.
Mhm.
You know the classic example of take a piece of paper, you fold it in half, punk something through it.
Yep.
What if it's slowly as you're walking through?
Getting longer. Ooh, you get stretched.
For some reason, your leg is just a pile of spaghetti now.
Yeah. You go in one side 5'6", you come out the other side 6 foot.
Yeah.
You know?
The other person going the other way just shrunk somehow because they restabilized.
Yeah.
Going
just,
back to public transport, that is very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as most things are, it probably takes a huge amount of power to even get it up,
Yeah.
and then to stay, it probably doesn't take as much power, I would assume.
Yeah. Like sustaining it, I could see.
Yeah.
Now here's the idea as well, because Portal actually touched on this for a little bit. Of once you get it up, it self-maintains, where it's like, oh, it's displacing, wherever it is, the space that you're creating that, and it trying to like close itself back in is what is sustaining itself. It's taking the space being like, well, no, I want to exist here,
Yeah.
and just sort of turning it in,
So-
and then
not
spreading it
quite.
out
If,
again.
if it was like that, then airliners wouldn't exist.
Yes.
Because then people could just easily drive through it like it's a
Yes.
tunnel.
Yep. It literally would just make that like a self-sustaining tunnel. Now, here's the thing: if you had the ability to harness that pushing of energy, because you're essentially like making a natural
You're
curve, you know.
You're leaning towards that perpetual energy side of things.
Exactly.
Which is impossible. You
True.
create more energy
If we
from
if we
It
ca-
would.
if we
You could.
take into account that the fact that it would be perpetual, in the fact that it sustains it, but as soon as you interrupt that field or try to get something off of it, it just
I could totally see that. Yeah, you'd like drain
it's
it.
that one like that very fine line, like it's self-maintained and it's pulling its energy that it's using from each side of its environment.
But if you disrupt it, it's going
If
to.
you disrupt it, try to leech something off of it, it just
Yeah, I could totally see that.
But then the thing is, once it goes, what's gonna happen? Does a
Right.
black hole appear? Does
Because it'd be like, yeah, the space
Yeah.
is trying to reoccupy so fast. It's like that itself could cause a bit of a rupture
disturbance,
somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
see
can
it.
see like something in between, like the energy transfer in between the tunnel. One side gets disturbed, and that explodes
Yeah.
out one end.
You know, I could see that.
So also a good thing to ask is, even if portals are so easy to maintain that don't cost that much money, corporate,
Yeah,
Corporate.
because
it
we
will
live
still
in
cost
America.
money to go to that portal, no matter what, and they might jack it up because it's instant. They might
The
make
fee
it,
for conveniency.
yes.
Yeah, totally.
So it's either like it's either going to cost so much, where it's the same or more than a flight, because you can transfer so much things. Like you can bring your car on your vacation.
Also, the
Right.
big thing between teleportation and portals is, okay, you may need a bigger portal, but it's just you can continuously feed stuff through that. Teleportation, it's like, okay, load on the platform. Load on the platform.
I could see that. Now, here's one thing that I'm surprised hasn't been like fronted sooner. Weaponizing these things.
Oh,
Right?
yes.
If I argue
Teleportation,
teleportation is probably way more deadly than portals would be on an actual like warfront setting,
Mm-hmm.
because the idea that, oh, here's this world leader, like, oh, we like two countries go to war, but one of them has just one person who can teleport safely.
Mm-hmm.
We'll assume they can safely teleport, and it's jumper logic where they just need to be able to see it. You have the internet, so you are able to see literally everything. I mean,
Surveillance
Google Earth.
capabilities, yeah.
Yeah.
Google Earth, you literally can just, I'm here now. The idea
Well, the
that,
thing is,
like, you can go
does it
there.
have to be a live feed of something?
No, in the movie, they actually, it was just a picture. Which does imply, and it was a slow, like, you're here, and then you're there. So if there was something there, you could probably move out of the way as you're going to it. So it's not that, like, oh, like, if you see a wall, is it, like, well, okay, just move back as you're teleporting to it. Now, there's that. The idea that you could just, and this is assuming, too, that whatever you take with you, because in the movie they were teleporting with stuff, whatever they take with them is fine. The damage that just one teleporter can do to any enemy person, of like, go here, bomb, drop a bomb, go back here, pop into this room, snap this world governor's leader's head real quick, and then pop back, literal seconds, a nation could be totally screwed. And so, portals, that would imply that you'd have to establish one on your side, one on the other side, and if you do that, you equally make a way for them to come back to you.
True.
So,
So
teleportation
you have
kinda
to
takes the
sabotage
cake.
your portal
Exactly.
too. But also, having a portal could also maintain the supply lines to getting to the front line.
True. Internal portals for one side would be better, but if you had it that one nation has portals, the other nation has just teleportation, I unfortunately think the teleportation nation's going to kick their ass.
Probably.
Literally pit two nations that have this technology against each other. Unfortunately, the teleportations one's going to come out on top. Is it more risky? Probably. But, like, they are just going to have the higher tactical advantage outright. In every standpoint, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because even if it's like a one-on-one, right? If it's one person can use a portal, and of course I can finally bring up League now, League of Legends, a portal user, Zoe, whose whole thing is that like travel distance, the longer away that she is, if she like hits an ability on you, the more damage it does. So she can teleport really close to you, mark an ability, teleport back, launch that ability at you, and because of the distance, it'll just like wreck your shit. Say that person has that ability IRL, and they put them against a teleporter. Who's coming out on top there? Because one can get close to you, yes, but as soon as you do that, the other can equally get away just as fast, and you still have to go through your portal just to get anywhere back and forth it.
Well, let's be honest.
Because you can't
here.
cast more than 2 portals at a time.
If you go by the logic of any type of warfare scenario, if you have a weapon that gives you that wild card, that trump card, you can think of 10,000 different ways to use that outside the box to give you an edge.
True.
So let's say we have one device that can maintain a set of portals, one linked to the other. Have you ever played Portal Co-op?
Yes.
The possibilities that you get when you get a second set.
Yes, is kind of... That is true.
Oh, you teleported this thing? Okay. That explosion traveled through the portal,
That's
and now
right.
just was directed back at you.
Well, and there's the terminal velocity generator where you can just like...
I have something for teleportators. For portals, we have discussed that turning it on would take a huge amount of energy, and then it self-sustains.
True.
Teleporting.
What's
If you
the
want to
energy
teleport
cost
a
on that?
bigger object, it will cost more money or more power to teleport that object.
It would. Yeah, that's very true. Because it's each
And if we go
section.
by a jumper situation, where are they getting that energy from?
It's implied that they can, like... It's like an electricity thing, but not really. Because electricity counters them from being able to do it. And it's that sort of idea. And I think they can just literally pull the energy from themselves
Yes.
because we're just
And
frequencies.
if we're going back to the Worth situation, I have a few arguments why maybe portals would win.
Okay.
So, to teleport, you have to know where you're going and stuff like that. Secret government facilities would, if they knew about teleporting and you had to see where you go, so many places will then not have any pictures, security cameras, or anything like that, so
True.
people wouldn't be able to teleport.
Become a closed state. Yeah.
Yes.
I can see that.
And then portals, you could move a massive amount of troops. Not even mentioning, if a single person used the teleport ability and they wanted to get rid of a tank, they would have to have explosives and stuff. They
True.
couldn't just teleport inside to the tank. So if your tank is very very well set up, you'd be fine.
True. That is very accurate.
I feel like, in the sense of a war type scenario, you have the teleporters. They are the essence of guerrilla warfare.
Yes.
True.
If you have portals, it is the essence of good supply lines, good communication.
I say tacticals too.
Yeah,
extremely
tacticals.
tactical. Huh.
Because you have to set it up and then go for it. If you have a teleporter, sure, one-man army, he can get to places, but it's kind of that guerrilla warfare where you got to hit them and run.
Yep, very true. I can see
Which
it.
has worked before. I'm not going to lie. There's a very good tactic. It was used in Vietnam.
How long are we going?
Half hour.
Yes.
Oh, neat.
But I feel like portals, you have good supply lines. Heck, you could keep moving up this portal too. Imagine if you had a portal on treads.
Huh. True.
Move the respawn point to the front of your line.
Yes.
I could see that. And now, assuming that you can have a portal move as well, that does kind of change a lot of things, because if it's an idea of, oh, they're shooting stuff at us, literally just a double way portal, and
Catch it.
true.
There we go.
Okay.
True.
Very funny
I
thing.
can see that.
New game that came out, Marvel Rivals. It's pretty much like an Overwatch version of Marvel.
I've
Has
heard of it.
Doctor Strange in it.
Okay.
They gave Doctor Strange the ability to set portals.
Okay,
Yes, he does.
So
you do.
you can shoot through these portals. They're both see through and whatever. So you can shoot through the portal and hit somebody else at a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they can be the
reminds me of
same. You can
Split
jump through
Gate.
and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Has have you seen Splitgate, the game?
Apparently not.
FPS portals.
Fun. That's a really good idea. More people got to do that.
But yeah, that if that was a quick teleporting thing, if you had somebody that could easily cast like a teleportate or a portal, you could easily set up a flank like that.
That is very true, and a lot of people too. Okay.
But if I was thinking of
If we have something like that where, okay, a portal's there, just using the environment to your advantage, you get a portal in someone's base or near them, hey, there's a volcano over there.
yes.
Oh, an ocean.
True.
So, another good thing.
Let's pull the plug on the top.
We also have to remember, are we going supernatural? So these people are born with these abilities.
Okay.
Or are we going technology? Which, if we're going like with ramshackle technology, like to have a portal you have to have a gate and stuff like that. A teleporter, you have to zap something and then it gets teleported.
Right.
Or you have to have a place that is secure to
You
jump
need
to.
you need end devices.
Yes. Do you need an end device? Or is it a thing where you zap and then they operate in that area?
Right. Or maybe even a translocator, of like,
Yep.
here you are, throw over there, no, you're there.
Yes.
In a way, that's like, that's almost
Ender
like
Pearl.
Portal. Ender Pearl, yeah. Huh. Neat. There's a lot there too, because I feel like the technology on both sides is very, you know, theoretically possible
Yes.
on those demeanors, and yet, fuck, in my head, they just sort of balance out.
Yeah, they
almost.
do.
Right? I think that's the unfortunate thing, is they're both achieving the same end goal in different ways, and yet how they get used is very interesting.
My brain, okay, just thought of this because probably will mean nothing to you guys or our audience.
Fair.
But port forwarding versus port triggering. Forward is you open the tunnel. Port trigger is something happen. It lets one thing through. Or a connection through.
I see.
Here's another cool situation. If I'm going to do one for portals and one for teleportation. Teleportation, you could teleport a nuke on somebody,
Yes.
like we've described.
Yeah.
Portals, you could have a artillery barrage somewhere and shoot through a portal.
True. That gets rid of the need for aim. Because
You have a nuclear launch facility. It shoots into a portal.
Yes.
And they just change the destination on that portal.
But the thing with that is, with teleportation, you teleport the nuke, and then boom, radiation. Portals, you bombard them through a portal, still devastating.
But it can
No
still come back.
nuclear fallout,
Huh.
or no negativity of
Right.
yeah.
I kind of wanna scale this up even further and kind of take the absolute peak of what both of these would look like. I think for portals, the peak would be an entire base of operations, and like what you said, using the environment of like volcano, I guess, or the fucking ocean, or into the ground. You
Power generation.
Put portal. Here is base. Put portal under base, and then other portal is in sky. You were here to.
That's your ultimate energy too.
And just drop the entire base where it is.
No, that's energy.
What do you mean?
Put a portal, at
Portal,
the bottom of the
water,
ocean, have a
pond.
turbine.
Portal.
I
Wheel.
didn't even think of. Dang.
You're using gravity.
That is.
And if the portal is self-sustaining, that is how you get extra power. Though you're using
that literally
the energy
does
of
make-
gravity to do it. So technically
mean-
it is not breaking any laws.
Technically,
Shoot.
that
I unfortunately see that.
Yeah, no.
That
That
makes,
has to make portals the best.
that makes so much sense.
That has to make portals the best. Because you cannot do the same thing with teleportation. Unless you're teleporting multiple balls at the same time to do that, but that will take a lot of power.
True. You couldn't be able to do that with teleportation, but I would also like to say that we haven't spoken much about like how much it would take to actually teleport yourself. or to teleport, period. The idea that it wouldn't take that much versus a portal means that it is less energy for what we have already said to be a lot more devastating. So less energy for more devastating versus true. You kind of can't. I was gonna say that still doesn't match
Gravity is
up.
the ultimate, like, driving force for, like, bleeding off energy. Because
True.
gravity's an innate thing with
Yes.
mass.
Yeah, it's just
We
collective
use,
that
we use
brings
it,
yeah.
You know what
already
causes
to generate
waves?
power with dams.
I was thinking
True.
waves.
Waves too. Yeah.
It's literally a fighting of gravitational fields versus with the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Causes waves, and we bleed electricity off that to move.
Yeah.
Gravity is like the physics wild card, I'd
Mhm.
say. Yes.
True. Shoot, I'm really trying to find any way around this to like, because I was kind of very for. Well, initially I was Team Portal, but then I was like, nah, teleportation just sounds too good now that I've like talked about it. The infinite energy,
Power.
shoot, that does kind of work a lot. Cause yeah, it would just be there, keeps it.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that you could like just keep adding to that, or like you just have the two portals and you just keep dumping water into it until eventually you have a continuous stream
Yeah.
reaching that.
No, there's also
terminal
there also
velocity.
could be something like that because with the electronics you'd have to make them waterproof so they don't bust open and stuff like that.
And it's the of how do you keep it contained if it's then hitting
Yes.
a wheel? Will it interrupt the terminal velocity?
My brain
Well,
was
that's why
immediately
that's
just
why
thinking,
you would have like a pond for it to fall into.
I was thinking the cliffside of like an oceanside view. You have a giant wheel on the cliff. There's a portal up
Yeah.
there on a platform, and the ocean down below. Just
Honestly, I could see that. And here's another idea that
poor
actually
fish.
going back to the game theory that I thought of, the poor fish. The game theory that I was referencing before was that of if you took like just a stick and dropped it vertically down, you would reach terminal velocity and stuff. It'd get very fast. But if instead you took a long enough pole, stuck it through the portal, and then attached it to itself and dropped, is it even moving? Would it not just
You just
sit
created a railgun.
a railgun?
If you just so if you didn't tie it to itself, but you just dropped it,
Oh well, yes, but I am still like what would happen? Portal, put a long enough pole in to reach through the other side, and then attached the end to the top.
itself,
Yeah. Would it even move?
yes.
I am. Yes, it would move. Because the space between the portals, gravity is still affecting it there.
True. However, I'm trying to remember if that is what he had come up with. He actually had like scientific backing for it that I of course can't remember conveniently. And that's also where the idea of is okay, now it's connected and set in place. Now take the portals and bring them closer together. What happens to that pipe?
You know, I
Get
want
crushed.
to bring to the forefront that with wormhole theory, and if that's what we're kind of basing this off of,
Yeah.
there is still a space between that is traveling through that wormhole.
Right.
If you do something like that, I feel you would just make that internal space bigger. Because so far we've been saying, oh, it's infinite, but what if there is like that one or two steps in there where you have to walk a little bit?
Yeah.
Because butting up to up, there's got to be something there.
Right. Some sort of space. Yeah, I could see it.
Some wormhole type shenanigans.
Yeah. Shenanigans.
And that's kind of what I was thinking, because if you destabilize one side, you got that flow of energy going throughout, back and forth. Kind of creating that. What are those little fidget toys that are they roll around each other, but they're a circle? You know what I'm talking about?
like the rings.
Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah. I know what you're getting
Yeah.
at.
So there's that flow of energy between them.
Right. Yep.
And then
yep.
there's that space in between. You gotta travel through that space before you can get to the other side.
I see. I see. I could see
And
that.
if you try to force something in there that's pushing it back against itself on the other side, I feel like that fold in space just gets bigger and that tunnel gets longer.
I could see that. Yeah. Would that
And
be?
then if it gets destabilized, depending on which one destabilizes first, you have that ruptured effect where one side collapses and then
Right. Really pushes. Okay. I could see that. I almost want to say arguably puts portals not as dangerous as teleportation, but it could very well be an argument to be like.
Well, each one is dangerous in their own right.
True. Putting a portal in a person, like
Yeah.
execution. I am still
I have a bag of holding. Would you like to see my? Just reaches into a vault and it's a
Real.
portal.
Yeah. Now. I'm still fascinated with the idea of two portals, like you said, close enough, close enough to where they're doing that. But if they pass through each other, what happens? What do you call the space between that now? It's an overlapping of spaces.
I don't think that would even be possible.
You're right. Game theory
Because-
said the same thing, and yet,
If you get them close enough to the other ends, basically, you're taking that piece of paper, you're putting the portal here, folding it,
yeah,
and then you're trying to move it down on that paper so they're closer
Yeah.
and closer together until they just become the same space.
true. And you couldn't.
And you cut off that energy flow between the two by making them in the same space.
Yeah, I feel like.
And it'll either fizzle out or go boom.
Yeah. Do you know about that effect of water, where when you put like two small things of glass together with a drop of water in between and you press them together, it's like impossible to just pull apart, like
Surface
force-wise.
tension.
Yep. The surface tension gets too strong to actually pull it apart. That same strength that prevents it from being pulled apart, I think, could prevent it from going through each other.
Yeah.
Which is why that couldn't happen. Because portals themselves could be intangible, obviously, because they're a giant
Yeah.
ring that goes through.
So
And so what's preventing it from going through is the equal.
could a
effect.
portal, like, we truly don't know this, but what happens when you take the two portals, you put them up against each other, and since they're now the same space, they're going to the same spot, they just weld that surface to the surface. And fuse them together because they're just the same place now. And the portal disappears.
Huh. True. Way to debunk portals? Perhaps. Interesting.
What's the point of portal if you're going to make it right next to each other?
Yes.
True. Now, what are we at? Because I gotta piss something fierce.
We're at 45 here.
I see.
Alright, so, where are we at? I'm still team portals all the way.
I know, you started portals.
I'm starting portals and I'm ending there strongly.
I think I started portals. I went heavily towards teleportation at one point, and then it just crumbled, and I think I might be team portals now.
I'm team portal all the way.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to, like jumper style teleport.
Yeah.
But I can't see that working in any way.
Right. I do think we
and
made
the application
very good
of
arguments.
portals, there's just so much other things you can do with it.
Yes, very true. I think we covered a lot of ground with it too.
Yes.
So, I think we made a good argument for teleportation too, because when I first started, I'm like, oh, it's cooked. Like we have this. No, I think teleportation actually had a good run.
Yes.
And then we got to the conclusion that we got to. So that's where I'm at.
So,
I think we got a good.
portals win.
Yes.
Portals is
Portals
better
are
than
superior.
teleportation.
Portals wins.
Yes.
Hey, a big day for Valve. Let's be real here. A big day for Valve. Aperture science all the way, baby. GLaDOS.
Can't wait until an actual scientist watches this video and be like,
These dumbasses.
yeah.
Actually, shut. We're not doing
Who's
that.
that one physicist that I always see on like shorts and stuff?
Hank Green.
No, he's like he talks about like space travel and stuff like that.
I know who you're talking about
Yeah.
too.
Has
Shoot.
like a mustache.
Yeah,
Very-
yeah, very iconic voice. Very soothing voice.
I think Blue Sky, the people that made Ice Age, they did a
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
like you made him like a ferret.
Right?
Or a
Yeah,
weasel.
they did, didn't
Yeah.
they? Oh yeah. No kidding. Well, this was very. I always love coming back here. It's once we start going, it's like, oh, we're locked in. Gentlemen, we're here. Also, I will always compliment the set, because I've done many a podcast, very seasoned veteran over here, but like I've done plenty where it's like, oh, we're just sitting on a couch. We're sitting in car seats, but it wasn't in the car. Like,
Well, okay.
yeah, it was a good time, but like legit, probably one of the cooler setups that you got here. I mean, Deja Blue.
Yep.
Gotta
Shout out to Deja Blue,
Yes.
our
Deja Blue.
venue sponsor.
They have
Best
very
coffee
good
in
hot
town
chocolate.
here.
And very good lighting. I'm just saying.
I'm on
Yeah,
hot
very
chocolate. sad. It was very good.
I'm not a migrant,
What's
too.
the point in being here anymore? No,
Oh, yes.
but this was very fun.
Yeah. Thank you for showing coming to our podcast, and see you next week.
See ya.
Bye. Send help.